Hey there, Brandon LeVere here, and today we are going to talk about the retired real estate agent. Why? Because most people don't talk about it, and mainly because there aren't many retired real estate agents. We have mainly people who retire from another industry and then get into real estate. But the reason we're going to talk about the retired real estate agent is because it's something I have a big passion for, and I'm trying to get more agents and more agents into the mindset of becoming, being put in a position to where they have the opportunity to live an awesome life after real estate. So the main reason I got into this is because I was sitting about 2 years ago. I was sitting at an open house, and it was just nothing. Nobody coming in. I had 4 people total. One was a neighbor. The second was another agent that happened to see my sign out. Number 3 and 4 were a lender and his partner that came in and wanted to give me a bag of, I don't know, knickknacks or whatever, trying to get me to get them some business. But for the most part, after having them, I had the time to kind of think for the next 3.5 hours of really am I going to be doing this when I'm 60 years old? Am I going to be sitting in an open house at 60 years old because I have to? Not because I want to, but because I have to in order to survive. And that made me really nervous. So I really started thinking and started looking around into other businesses and trying to find a way and see what other people were doing in order to be put in a position to where I wouldn't have to do that. I mean, typically we're in such an industry that's just instant gratification. We're talking about how many transactions per year, how many, what's your GCI this year, all this stuff. But we are really only as good as our last sale. So if we are selling, we're getting paid, but as soon as we take our foot off the gas, our income drops too. So, that made me nervous. I really needed to learn how to structure my business with multiple revenue streams and trying to figure out how am I going to get to this spot. And so during my research period, I ended up running into this guy named Gene, and he explained something to me, and it blew my mind and it scared me at the same time, because I wasn't ready for what he was about to tell me. But I'm going to write some numbers on the board here and show you. You can go ahead and guess what they are. Maybe you already know what they are. I didn't know what they were when he wrote them down, and when I found out what they were, I had to really change my mindset to see where I was going to go from then on. So I'm going to go ahead and start up with these numbers here and give you an idea of what it is that Gene told me. So I'm not sure if you can see this, but if you can, the first number is 900,000. Second number is 4,000. Third, 36,000, and 3,000. If you don't know what that is, don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. But I'll go ahead and explain it here. And when I was explaining this, I realized how far behind the game I was, and how I wasn't even thinking in the right terms. So basically, 900,000. If you talk to a financial planner, advisor, they're going to let you know that you're going to need $900,000 after taxes, take out at 4%, in order for you to have an annual income of $36,000 and a monthly income of $3,000. So I didn't have $900,000. That scared the hell out of me. And I don't know many people who have $900,000 in the bank, and I don't know many real estate agents. I know even less real estate agents that have $900,000 in the bank. So that made me very nervous to see that. But Gene ended up telling me, he said, so what's your plan? What was your exit strategy before? I said, well, this is how what you do. I mean, you become a buyer's agent, seller's agent, trainer, team leader. You grow your team, and then you become a broker. Whether or not you have your own brokerage, independent brokerage, or you go on to do a franchise thing, or maybe do property management. I wasn't really into property management, but yeah, I'm going to grow my team. And he's like, well, why would you take all that risk and overhead costs? And I was like, well, this is kind of what you do. He goes, what if I told you that I can build a team without you being a broker? And you can go ahead and replace that $36,000 a year without having that $900,000. He then asked me, in the next 3 years, can you build your team as if you were a broker? Could you build your team to 6 agents? Yeah, absolutely. Why not? Of course I could. He said, okay. In that time, do you think any of them will bring somebody on? You know, maybe they like to bring somebody onto the brokerage? I said, yeah, probably. I mean, at least one. So he said, all right, so you have 6. 6 people and 6 people. That's 12. So in 3 years, you can get to 6 people. You can get to 12 people total. He's like, but the most amazing part is that they don't have to be in your local market. They can be anywhere in North America. Really? Huh. Well, interesting. That's amazing. So anyways, Gene showed me that with this 12 people in 3 years, if it took me that long, who knows how long it's going to take. I've actually gone much quicker than that. But this 12 can actually replace that 36,000 while canceling out that 900,000. So he says, Brandon, you have one of 2 choices. One, option number 1, save $900,000. Kind of scary. $900,000, that seems kind of hard. 2, build your team to 6 people in the next 3 years. And we will replace that $36,000 by wiping out that mandatory $900,000. Now for me, option A or option 2, much easier. And I've already done it. Now, if that's something that you're interested in taking a look at, feel free to click the link below and schedule a free strategy session with me. And we'll basically go over what we can do, see if it actually fits for you, and get you in a position to where you can replace that $36,000 a year without having to save $900,000. All right, guys, thanks so much. Hope to hear from you, and looking forward to it. All right, thank you.